Ok, so on est ici avec Chico Mann, guitariste de ANTIBALAS. For those who don't know the band, can you present us ANTIBALAS?
Well, ANTIBALAS is a band that formed in Brooklyn, New York in 1998, so 25 years ago, and started in the spirit of classic Afrobeat and has just been evolving ever since.
ANTIBALAS means bulletproof.
Bulletproof, yeah.
Pare-balles.
Right.
So you are in action for more than 20 years. A lot of members came in and came out in the band. So how do you keep the spirit of the band with all this turnover?
It's a miracle. I don't know. The music, because it's the music. Yeah, there's been many iterations of the lineup because it's a collective. So, yeah, the music has all the information and it sounds like us.
And what are the necessary skills to come in the band? To be a new member?
You just have to know somebody.
So I can.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you speak Afrobeat, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you probably do. So.
You're probably with Martin Perna, the last original member of the band. Yeah. So what is your feeling about that?
Well, I mean, we're still here. We're still doing it, you know. For me, like personally, the being in service to the music has always been the most important thing, and so the music gives you energy, the people give you energy, so why stop, you know? It's hard sometimes, but it's worth it.
Probably most of the people don't know that, but you are the starting point of the rebirth of Afrobeat.
Maybe, yeah.
Because before that it was the Dactaries and so on, but it's amazing to see that the rebirth of the Afrobeat came from New York and not from Nigeria, not from Africa.
Yeah, I mean, New York has so many currents, musical currents flowing through it that, and especially at that time, there was a lot of vibrancy in the music scene. So there was a place, there was a space for it to happen.
Album after album, you used to add new influence in your music. For example, Security was a very futuristic record, but still Afrobeat. Where God Are in Peace were more deeply African, connected with the spirit. Full Chronicles were oriented toward Asia. What is not the logic, but how do you incorporate in your music those new influences?
Well, I mean, I can tell you, like, the new albums that we've recorded that haven't come out yet, the influence is more psychedelic and more elements of Afro rock, Afro funk. It's just organic, you know. There's no mystery to it, really, you know. It's everyone has different influences, and like I was telling you before, when you speak that language, you can change the context, you can change different aesthetic elements of it, but the language of the music is the same.
Are you influenced by your travels, by your tours all around the world? By the music you can hear when you are on tour?
Maybe for some people. Me, not so much personally. I'm just influenced by old records.
Old records?
Yeah, that's all I listen to. Yeah, old African records. You know, it's like, oh, I like that rhythm. Like, oh, I want to try that. You know, you hear something, because as musicians, and I can't speak for all musicians, but many of us, when we listen to music, you can't help but analyze and study it. You know, you're taking it in because you want to understand how this movement, how that sound, what is that movement, and you try to figure it out. And then when you do that, you start going into the bones of the music. So once you are in it, then you can use it to say other things.
But you are always in search of new vibes, or it's happened?
No, it just happens. Yeah.
Because there is a kind of circle in music. I mean, at the moment it was a kind of cumbia fashion, and after that, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's always fads and trends, and you know, I don't think we follow that. We never did.
Just to conclude, you're in France in a particular context of riots and a very hard
Yeah.
situation.
It feels very familiar.
You are kind of political content with ANTIBALAS. There's a song called Nesta, Never Ever Submit to Authority. So what does it inspire to you, the situation?
I mean, like I said, it feels very familiar, and you know, this band has always been in solidarity with people who are seeking their own liberation and you know, autonomy in the face of violence and repression, culturally and politically. So we stand in solidarity with the people that are taking a stance. You know, I mean, we don't advocate violence, but people have to express themselves when they're being oppressed, and sometimes it's that way.
For example, when you come back at Daptone with this record called ANTIBALAS with the animal mask, it was more a kind of
Traditional.
It was cool, but classical Afrobeat.
I know. I'm tired of that. When I listen to that, I'm like, it's boring. I've heard that record, you know, not that record. I mean, metaphorically, I've heard that record so many times. For me, when Amayo left, it was the biggest gift for the legacy of the band, because then we could start a new chapter. You know, and so having the opportunity to be like, I speak for myself, to go back to being instrumental. That was my favorite part of ANTIBALAS. So, and you mentioned Battle of the Species. The spirit of that, it's like punk. It's like punk, you know?
It's a kind of soundtrack.
Yeah, so I wanted to go back to that and make cinematic, really like psychedelic, explorational music that doesn't rely on the voice, the singing, you know. There's some singing, but like when there is no singing and it's just the music, then it's your mind
You create your
that
own
gets
images.
the images, because you're not being told a story. So then you're free to experience the music very much as an individual, and that is powerful to me. Like I almost don't even care to sing in any of my projects anymore, because the music is, you know, the guitar sings, the horns, they're all singing, the drums, everybody's singing. It's just not with the voice, it's human voice. It's a different voice. So there's so much more color and things that can happen when you take away words. I think words can be distracting sometimes.
But you don't have a new singer? Oh, so now ANTIBALAS is 100% instrumental band.
I mean, Marcus sings a little bit. He sings a couple of songs that are new, but most of it is instrumental. Sometimes when you work with a singer, and then the singer, if your whole set is based on something, and the singer can't come, or the singer is sick, or the singer quits, whatever, then what do you do?
The problem is that often the singer symbolizes the band.
Yeah, but we all symbolize the band.
I know what you mean.
Everybody is a symbol of the band, you know.
And when can we hear the new record?
Well, it's mixed, so now we're just shopping record labels to see who's going to put it out.
You're not in Daptone?
No.
Diamond West? Not?
No, because those guys, the way they do it, it's like they record it and then they release it, but they want to control the masters of the recording, which is a very old model of music business. And we don't need to do old models anymore.
It's often the problem, the masters.
No, not if you could own them.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, it's also the same story with the editions. A lot of people wants to control the edition.
Yeah. But yeah, so we recorded 2 records in November, and then when I was in New York last month, I finished mixing it with the engineer, and so now we'll release one, and then we'll have another one ready, and then the idea is to write the next record soon, so that by the time the second record comes out, we already have a third. Just always be one ahead.
Thank you, Chico.
Thank
See you later.
All right, thank you.